May it please the court, Your Honor?
Yes.
Before you, Ms. Deandra Palmer. She's here on case number 2024 GS450240. Your Honor, she is charged with resisting arrest, uninsured motor vehicle fee, giving false information to a police officer, failure to return a license plate, operating an unregistered vehicle, and driving under suspension during a subsequent offense. Ms. Palmer was present at our initial appearance. She indicated that she wishes to represent herself. She was advised that we do normally intend that people need to represent them. Higher representation in regards to charges, but she was adamant she wants to represent herself, so she is here this morning for written warnings. I also have prepared discovery for her if she wishes to proceed, so she can have all the documentation.
Okay. Is that right, Ms. Palmer?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and you have a right to represent yourself. Many times, that's a bad idea. I don't know how much you know about the law, how much you know about the rules of evidence. And you ever represent yourself in a trial court?
I never did.
Okay, and if you can't afford an attorney, I don't want to represent you. You have a right to represent yourself. Usually that's a bad idea, because if you get in the middle of a trial, the judge can't help you. You're going to be under the same rules of evidence that the state's under. So, and you may have defenses to these crimes that a lawyer would know and you wouldn't know about. You understand that?
I understand.
And so you want to represent yourself anyway?
I do.
Okay. So they've given you the discovery sheet, but the problem is you're going to have to keep up with it with the solicitor's office and the clerk of court to know when you have to be back.
Well, that's the problem I'm having. I cannot get in contact with anybody, and it's almost like because I'm representing myself, you guys are like, I can't help you. So is that part of your procedure?
Well, normally what happens is...
And I'm just be asking for general information.
Well, I understand. So normally they send out a docket. The clerk's office publishes a docket.
Mm-hmm.
And attorneys check that docket all the time. So if you had an attorney, they would help you be able to come back to court. The fact that you don't have one, you're going to have to keep up with the court schedule. I think the next term is in February, the last of February?
Beginning of February 3rd.
Okay. So you want her back on February 3rd?
Yes, sir.
You need to be back at 9:30 on February 3rd. If you don't show up, then they'll issue a bench warrant for you. You got to sit in jail till your case comes up. You understand? Who's your bonds person?
Let me think.
Freedom.
No, I don't know the actual bonds man company, but I know the name is McKnight. Merriman. I don't know the name of it.
What bond you out on?
Say that again?
How much is your bond set?
Ooh.
So
Think like
$5,000 surety.
Okay. What happens is also if you get a bench warrant, the bond will come, because they're gonna be out $5,000 if you don't show up, you understand? Okay? Then you need to be back 9:30 February 3rd. Have you given her all the discovery?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. All right?
all right.
I
Appreciate
will-
this.
Well, I may be in February 3rd. I don't know. Who's your schedule to be here?
And are you George McFadden?
No.
No?
That's who's supposed to be here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, he'll be here then.
And who are you?
I'm Farrell Cochran.
Say your name one more time. I could have had a hard time looking for you.
Farrell Cochran, C-O-T-H-R-N.
Farrell Cochran?
F-E-R-R-E-L-L.
You're not on the directory. I couldn't find you online or anything.
I've been online a long time. But
I mean, I see Foxworth, Estel. I see
I
everybody.
know, but
but
I
you.
won't be here because I'm fixing to retire in 2 weeks.
Well, that's good.
So, but Judge McFadden will be here. If it was Judge Curtis, I may have to be here for her because she's got some conflicts and I've been covering for her during January. Well, I have to cover. She may not be a judge, circuit judge by February 3rd. So, okay, thank you.
2025A4510100008 on the charge of murder. Your Honor, he was arrested back on January 7th of 2025. He is represented this morning for the bond hearing by Attorney Caesar McKnight of the Williamsburg County Bar. Your Honor, beside me I have the investigator, Ms. Lisa Brown, who will give the facts of the case. John Hardy, who was here on yesterday, the father of the deceased Mr. Devin Hardy, he stated he's a little under the weather, so he's unable to come to court, but he did not have anything he wished to share.
Ma'am?
Good morning. On 12/22/2024 at approximately 3 o'clock a.m., our deputies responded to the vicinity of 5 Bamboo Loop, that's in the Salsas area of Williamsburg County. Once they arrived, they realized that the shooting incident happened at the intersection of 52 South and Griffin Road. As far as Mr. Leonard's role, he would be the cousin to the defendant from yesterday. Him and his cousin were in an argument with Mr. Leonard's brother over something that the grandparents had left to one of them. The grandmother had recently died. As a result of that argument, Leonard and 2 co-defendants left the Infinity Club, went to Griffin Road to wait to see Leonard's brother. The deceased victim was walking down the road, and at the time he was walking down the road, he was approached and asked on the whereabouts of Leonard's brother. An altercation occurred at the car, which resulted in one of the co-defendants, I'm not sure which one, but it could have been both of them, that would have shot at the the victim. I have no indication and no information as to Mr. Leonard being a shooter, nor do I have any information as to him having a gun at the time, but he admitted that he was inside of the vehicle when the incident occurred. As far as his criminal history, he does not have a rap sheet. I think the only thing that he has pending is a DB 3rd, and that happened April of 2024. That's pending.
Victims, what you say?
No, sir, Your Honor. The father was just very sorrowful that he lost his son, but as yesterday, he did not have anything he wished to share.
This is the same family yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Towards the end of the day, right?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McKnight?
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court. I have the pleasure of representing Mr. Leonard Fulton in this matter. Mr. Fulton is 32 years old, and he's a lifelong resident of Williamsburg County. I have known Mr. Fulton his entire life because we grew up in the same church. Well, myself, let me just say this. His father, who's here, Mr. Fulton Sr., and I attended the same church. We're distant relatives. I've known him and his family his whole life. Unfortunately, Mr. Fulton finds himself in this situation immediately after the passing of his grandmother, Ms. Laura, who passed away December. She passed away in December. But I can tell you, I know his background, I know his family, and charges like this are surprising, given that his grandfather and grandmother were so diligent, hardworking, and dedicated people in the community. To tell you about him, he's the proud father of 3 boys. He lives with his 3 children and his fiance. At the time of the incident, he was employed at Charleston Metal and Steel. That's a recycling place there on Highway 52 between Monk's Corner and Goose Creek. And he also was about to start a job as a machinist at a place called ITI. He's a 2010 graduate of Kingstree Senior High School, C.E. Murray High School. Your Honor, I believe that, I recognize wholeheartedly that the court has a very hard decision to make, given the fact that my client is accused of one of the worst crimes that we can have in our society. However, all indicators from my investigation and talking with law enforcement strongly suggest that my client was present, not the shooter. We'd ask that you let him out on bond. House arrest can definitely be part of it. Only allow him to go to work, lawyer's office, court, and that's it. I think he will not have, I'm pretty certain he'll have no contact with the victims' families. And I think that the court also should know that he comes from very humble means. So if you set a high bond, you essentially deny the bond. So I know expenses are all relative to the person's background, but I would suggest a bond no more than $50,000, Your Honor, with whatever conditions you see fit, and he would definitely be able to abide by whatever conditions you put, whether it be electronic monitoring, house arrest, or the like. but he doesn't have a criminal record. I can tell you the clients that I know that are hardened and the ones that are soft. My hardened clients don't call and bother you from, well, I'm saying about, they don't reach out to you from the detention center. He has been on the phone driving his fiance crazy, you know, just wanting to know this, and that's indicative of the fact that he's not a street person. He's just a regular salt of the earth guy that's found himself unfortunately facing these charges. So that being said, that's our motion, and we appreciate the court's time.
Anything else from the state?
None of this from the state, Your Honor.
All right. I do find this is distinguishable from yesterday's bond hearing. It's been disclosed to the court that he did have a firearm, he didn't use a firearm, was there. Set the bond at $25,000 surety, and I've set a fairly low surety bond because there's going to be GPS monitoring, which is not cheap.
Yes, sir.
He is to be home every night from 2000 hours to 0600 the next morning, every night.
That's from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m.
He may leave the house to go to work, see his lawyer, and seek legitimate medical care. Have no contact with the victim or victim's family or co-defendant, even upon invitation. And that is all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court, Your Honor?
Yes.
Before using Ms. Stephanie Frame, she is here on case number 2024 GS450241. This charge is for possession of meth. And Mr. Stephen Ward here on case number 2024 GS450241 for possession of a narcotic, first offense. Your Honor, both of these defendants made their appearance on Friday for initial appearance. They indicated to the court that they would like to have representation in regards to these charges, but it did not have the available fee to pay for a public defender at the time. So they're here this morning to petition the court to have that fee waived.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about y'all situation. Where do y'all live?
Jamestown.
Okay.
I'm still working on trying to get up the money for it. We've been going to classes and stuff, and I haven't been able to get, steady work.
So do y'all have a conflict in the representation? Can the same attorney
I believe we're
represent?
going to have one, yes, sir.
Huh?
I believe we may have one.
Yes, they would have to get two separate attorneys.
Okay. And the public defender needs to represent one and contract attorney on the other.
We do have two public defenders.
So do y'all have a problem with each one of you representing?
I don't have any, I don't have any issues or I don't think I have any conflicts.
They're charged, you charged with possession,
Yes,
just straight possession, not with intent.
that's right.
Okay. Is that what y'all think you're charged with?
Shouldn't have
What do
been.
you think you're charged with?
It's not with intent.
Huh?
It's not with intent. I thought it was. They never told us it was with possession. Nothing. Mine just says. They told me it was just found in the bedroom on top of the dresser.
He's charged with possession, Your Honor.
I reckon. I don't know.
So, it's in a house,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. My mom.
and is it in Williamsburg County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Jamestown's not in Williamsburg, is it?
It was close. It's right
Is
on the map.
Jamestown address?
It's no, well,
Andrew's
it's
address.
Andrew's.
Andrews, yeah.
So,
Well,
They're right on the county line. You go across the highway, it's Georgetown County.
yeah, it's really close to the edge. Country everywhere.
and so as a result of a search warrant,
I guess not. I guess it was a search warrant, but it was one I allowed.
We let them in.
It's a DSS investigation.
okay. All right, I'll appoint the public defenders to represent y'all. If y'all decide you got some other conflict, you need to let Court know, by the first of the year, well, I'll give the contract, okay?
Yes, sir. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Remember, let's make you pay the 40 on the tail end.
Sorry?
You'll have to pay the 40 on the tail end of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll do it. We'll
Okay.
take care of that. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome to Christian News TY. Meet Benji. Benji is a mere Yankee. He is having fun playing with his pillow. Benji is available for stud services. We would like for you to meet Precious. She is a female Yankee. She is also having fun. Both Yankees will have an active part in some of our Christian News TY videos.